Fear is the enemy.
Tiger City Music Box.
Whatever it is that you're going for, man, go hard. And hold on, never give up. You gotta have that mentality, man. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind who you wanna be. I know who I am, I know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. And that's word to my mom, word to my pops, word to my little bro. They said make your mistakes, but don't make excuses on why you can't live and learn. On a couple occasions I damn near went broke. I'm chasing this music thing, and I ran out of hope. I threw in the towel, said fuck the hole in the street. I kept on writing and touring. I picked up a job cause I knew it was important. The money I made, I would stash it away just to fund my recordings. And I didn't wanna stop cause I didn't know how. I would lay in my room by myself late at night and I finally figured it out. I just wanna be the best version of me, make all the music that I wanna make. I don't care what nobody gon' say. You miss all of the shots you don't take. And the answer is no, if you don't ask. If it gets hard, this too shall pass. God is my witness and he got the plan. He got the plan. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind who you wanna be. I know who I am, I know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. Yeah. Remember, man, you only in competition with yourself. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. Pleasure and pain. R.I.P. the greatest. 0824.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. What's going down? Go Dogs. The Dogs just scored a touchdown, so we back in the lead. Let's go. Let's finish this up, y'all. What's good? What's going down? I'm really excited to be here today. It's been a crazy day, but we have finally made it. Happy December 1st to all you guys out here. This is our first edition of the 23 days until Christmas marathon. And what better way to do it with the person that started it all? The first person that I've interviewed 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago to the date, I started doing this. Mr. Brendan Nelson, a good friend of mine, known him a very long time, a very respected individual here in the community, doing so much amazing work for the kids, for people that really need it, and I'm really excited to have him here with us. He is a little under the weather, so if you guys see him picking his cup up, his Golden Girls cup is what he told me, then don't mind it, don't mind it. I'm sure my daughter would be happy right now. She's a huge Golden Girls fan. So I just want to give a huge shout out to all my sponsors. First and foremost, iShotIt.com. I want to give him a huge happy birthday to my guy, Marvin Patterson. Today is his birthday. I'm not going to tell you his age because he'd probably be pissed off at me if I did. So I'm going to leave it out. But happy birthday, brother. I love you. I appreciate you for always having my back. And we're going to get together and hang out real soon. Icon ENT, Junior Thomas, thank you so much for doing so much amazing work here in the community. If you guys need a ride anywhere, he's actually looking for anybody that wants to go to the Seahawks versus Eagles game. He has a few seats left on his party bus. Make sure you guys hit him up, or you can hit me up and I'll get you to him. The party bus extravaganza is going off. He's got black buses, he's got gold buses, he's got red buses. However you want to go, he gonna get you there. So all you gotta do is let us know how you want to do it, and he'll make it happen for you. So thank you, Icon ENT. Let's go to the Chaya movement. Mrs. Zakia, thank you so much for continuing being an amazing asset to our community. She is working here in Tacoma. She's in Seattle. She's in Lakewood. She's in Spanaway. She's moving and grooving, putting together party little pop-ups for people to go and showcase their own creations. She even has her own, which she turns rags into riches, and then she puts them back out there for a really, really cheap price, affordable price. All you have to do is go to chayamovement.com or to chayafashion.com to hear about where she's going to be at next. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Miss Marquita Evans over at Tensions Juice and Smoothie Bar on 52nd and South Tacoma Way. If you guys have not been there, make sure you guys get over there and check it out. She's doing such amazing work here in Tacoma, and she just opened up her new store there in Seattle. So you guys make sure you guys go and check her out. Also, next year, she'll be coming out with a third store right downtown Tacoma on Market. So she's doing big things. Congratulations to your continued support, and I'm excited for where we're going moving into the 2024, right around the corner. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring in my guy. I know he just got out of bed. I'm trying to get him back into bed and not have him sitting up on here sneezing and coughing and getting us sick through the screen. So welcome Brendan Nelson to Circle Talk, guys. Let's go. What's up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man, for being here. I've already told you over and over and over again how much I respect you and your dedication to the people and your drive and determination to just be a good person. You're doing amazing work, and I'm glad to be a friend of yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
We go way back, man.
Yes. We do go way back. I actually posted the last picture that I posted of you. I had to go to the archive.
I know, man. That was wrong. That was wrong, man. Not the silk shirts. Not the silk shirts, man.
How old was you back then?
I think that picture with the silk shirt, I was probably like 11, 12, maybe.
He was milky silky. Looking suave debonair. You know, with the good hair too. So first off, man, let's do something. We're gonna take a trip back in the past, because one of the things that I wanted to do was rewind back to the first time we met. Obviously, I don't know if you remember that date, but remember I was supposed to meet Chuck at his studio. Yep. And do you remember? And
yes, sir.
A whole lot of things had transpired with Chuck that day. And so I left his studio at like 10:30, ran back here to set up, and I was ready at 11, but then I couldn't get it going. Something went wrong, so we didn't get on time. We got on a little bit late. And then I got on. Chuck showed up. You showed up. And then I forgot to plug my laptop in. So remember, I faded out, and then you and Chuck continued talking until I plugged back in. Yeah. You remember all that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that, man. I remember all that. And just for me, I'm just real. So that wasn't, for me, it wasn't like, oh, you got to do this better, you got to do that better, so on and so forth. It was just whatever's going to happen is going to happen, right? And that gave me and Chuck a moment to just talk to each other, learn a little bit more about each other, and just blessings to him, man, because that was, I think, one of the only times I got to talk to him,
right,
before he passed, and I learned so much from him. But then, I'm not sure if you know this, but then I think it was maybe a few months later, I ended up working with his stepdaughter on a project for the city of Tacoma. So I didn't know he was even connected to Chuck. Yeah, it was just this whole thing, man. So I really feel like things come full circle. God connects us
Yeah.
to who we're supposed to be connected to.
Absolutely.
So blessings to Chuck and his family, and just thank you for putting together this platform for people to be able to engage in that way. So everything that happened that day was supposed to happen.
Absolutely, man. And just really quick, you guys, obviously, like we had just mentioned, like he just mentioned, Chuck was a huge part of this whole ordeal. Chuck gave me an opportunity to be on his podcast. And because of a lot of things that we had talked about on his podcast, it ignited something in me to want to start my own. And Chuck was like, I got this place to start it at. And so I was like, okay, let's work together to make it happen. And if it wasn't for Chuck Marlowe, none of this would have happened. So we just want to give Chuck a huge shout out. As he's smiling down on us, he actually ended up passing a few months later. From cancer. He had been battling cancer for years. He's such an amazing person. Anyone that knew Chuck Marlowe knew he would give his life for anybody. And so we just wanted to take a moment to just give him his flowers and just have a moment of silence real quick for him. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate you, man. Love you.
Sir.
So, what you been up to though? Let's get into Mr. Nelson. I know you've been sick. Sorry to let you down. But how's life? How's life been treating you since the last time we talked?
Man, so to everybody watching, as David put on blast already, you will see me sipping from my cup, and from my cup, it's the Golden Girls. You know what I'm saying? These are my people. These are my ladies.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just my tea and things to get me through this. But man, since the last time we've met, it just has been so much that has happened in my life. So many things I've been grateful for. Just many blessings, man. And I will say, just a connection between me and you.
Mm-hmm.
This time last year, we thought we were going to lose my mom.
Wow.
So shortly after Thanksgiving, my mom fell ill and went to the hospital, got out, went back to the hospital, and was actually in the hospital from, I think, the latter part of November up through the early part of January.
Wow.
And it was so detrimental that we called the whole family in. And when Black folks call the whole family in, it's like
something serious.
Something serious. So that was just a real hard time for us. But also it was a healing time too, because David, my brothers, my sister, our family.
Yeah.
At this point, both my brothers moved to Las Vegas. My sister was up in Bellevue, so I'm here in Tacoma, closest one to my parents.
Yeah.
And and my mom are like this. It's not mama's boy. It's like me and my mom was just like this.
You guys are just tight. That's all there is to it.
But she got sick, man. That just put a pause on everything for all of us.
Yeah.
And it was the first time for us as siblings that we really came together outside of a holiday, outside of, all these things, and just rallied around mom, rallied around pop, and just started to reflect on their life, their legacy, the things that they've done for us, the path that they've laid for us, and what does that mean for us as kids and for the grandkids and so on. And so, man, and this is just total transparency, I shared with my brothers while they were here, because they stayed here at my house while they were in town, and it was that it was reversed. So back in the day, it was me stuck in the room with two of them, because we shared a room together. And I'm stuck in the room with them while they're doing their thing and got girls sneaking in and this and that. I got to be quiet about it.
Yeah.
You're at my house, so lights go out in my house, you go to bed too.
Yeah.
So I remember one night, we were up just late chit chatting, and I'm thinking we all going to bed. So I go off, and then my brother's in the living room still talking. They're in touch, going back and forth with each other, and then they get into like, man, this is what we used to do as kids. You used to do this, and that, and then so I pop back in like, y'all be quiet, go to bed.
Yeah.
But we end up, getting into the conversation around just life, man, and the moments that we missed as brothers.
Right.
And for them to say to me, we weren't big brothers to you, because by the time I became a teenager, my oldest brother had kids, right? So that was really difficult for us. And so my mom's sickness was a time for us to heal our own relationships with each other, and to reconcile. And I'll tell you, man, since the last time we've talked, that's what it's been about. That's what it's been about for me, is healing, reconciliation, and family. That's been my biggest piece. And what I realized is I've been doing community engagement work, community involvement stuff for 20 years, man. 20 years. And when my mom got sick, I stepped back. And then I took a little bit more time to step back. So I've been out of, I don't want to say the spotlight, but I've been really out of everything for about 2 years. And what's so interesting was a lot of people that I thought would call and say, man, how you doing? How's everything going? You good? It was more so, how come you didn't come to this meeting? How come you didn't come to that meeting? How come you didn't do this? How come you didn't do that? And that showed me, it was like, I gave so much to my community, and now I want to give to my family. But people don't realize that in the midst of giving to my community, I was taken away from my family.
Absolutely.
Right. So my mom being sick was like that's a light on for you to really scale back and focus. And so that's been an eye opener for me, man. So, since we last talked, it's my whole thing has been family.
Absolutely. Do you think though, because you're such a huge asset to the community and you've done so much community engagement in our community, do you think that if they would have known, because I don't think you told really anyone about what was actually happening with the family, right? Or did you, I mean, because I'm sure you didn't tell everybody, yo, I got to step back because, my mom is going through some stuff. So do you think that if they would have known, that they all would have poured into you and your family?
I think yes, and because there were certain groups I was a part of that I started to scale back, because I was like, hey, my mom is sick, this and that, and I was met with the surprise of not necessarily more understanding, but more of like, well, we got to have you here to do this. We're gonna have you here to do that. So I was like, okay.
So it was almost like the ones that did know didn't really put it as a big deal if it was their own family, What I'm saying? They and then
on the flip side, if that was me, I'd be like, hey, take the time you need, do this to, do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
But also I'm a very private person too, so I'm not going to be out there publicly speaking on all the stuff of my family. Well, my mom would have ripped my head off if I had done all that.
Absolutely.
But in the circles I was a part of, man, it was very much about like, hey, this is what's going on. Yeah. But then realizing, there's still work to do. And another big piece for me was, I was like, the work will continue. Absolutely. Right. So I learned that, things will continue on without me, and not to be hurt by that. Because part of me was hurt that I was like, man, I've been going hard for all these years, and then people are mad at me because I'm not coming to a meeting, or so on and so forth. But then realizing that to them the work has to continue. Got it. Great. That's a beautiful thing. But now in my space, it's like I can get back everything else. I can't get back my family.
Absolutely.
And that's where my mind is. It's like everything else can be replaced, titles, jobs, all that kind of stuff, but your family cannot. And the time that you spend with your family cannot be replaced.
Absolutely. So shout out to your family. I mean, because
Yeah,
I love all of them. Roland, Rolanda, Alfred, love them all. How's mom doing now though? How is she?
man, my mom. I need her to sit down somewhere. That's what I need her to do. Uh,
Sit her
my
down.
mom is just, she's back up to speed.
That's
She's
good.
doing well. She still has some recovery to make, but
Yeah,
she's doing great, man. And I think for her, that love of family and seeing the family came together, that's what gave her that energy again to like step back, like to just refresh herself.
yeah,
And my dad as well. My
right.
parents worked. Like when our families met, man, my mom and dad didn't have a high school diploma to anything. So when we met y'all family, my mom and dad was just trying to go back to school and work, figure things out with 4 kids, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
And I've only known them to work, right? So I think right after you and I talked, maybe that first time, a couple months
yeah.
after the year, they
Mhm.
retired.
Oh wow.
Um, and it was hard. It wasn't like hey, baby, we met our goal. We gonna retire. No, COVID hit. My dad was pushed out of work basically because
Mhm.
his job was like, you're in that percentile where it's you're higher,
Yeah,
you're more vulnerable to sickness. And
absolutely.
then when my mom got sick, doctor was like, yeah, you should probably retire because the work you're doing doesn't it doesn't help with their health. And so they were kind of like forced into retirement.
Hmm.
And
Gotcha.
so it's been hard for them to settle into it,
Yeah,
but I love seeing them and embrace it more and more because they have worked hard. I mean, they've
yeah,
raised four children who are all doing well in our own respects, right? And
yeah.
so, um, just hats off to to my mom and pop for all the work that they've done, you know,
Absolutely.
um, and wanting to give them flowers every day that they're here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
our
absolutely.
that's our biggest thing as a family, giving mom and pop flowers every day that they're here,
It's a
and just
beautiful
appreciating
thing,
them.
man.
Yeah,
Beautiful thing. Shout out to dad too. I
yeah.
mean, I was scrolling through all your pictures trying to find a picture of you and dad. There ain't very many of them out there, bro.
There's, I'm telling you, they don't. If they hear that they are on Facebook, they get mad.
That's like my
So
mom's. My mom the same way. Don't you be putting me on Facebook, boy.
yeah, there's a, there's a few like I'll pop up Father's Day, his birthday, things like that.
Yeah,
But mostly just and again, it goes back to it doesn't have to be for everybody.
right.
I want to call my dad, be like, "Hey, pops, I appreciate you." Just off the radar, not because it's Facebook Live or whatever, but just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's Monday and I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. So, let's talk about. I found a couple pictures, and you can kind of explain what was going on with you and Rolanda at
Yeah.
an event. Tell us a little bit about that. What was going on there?
So I saw those, man, and I have to tell you, I got a little emotional. I'm not sure if because I'm sick, and when you're sick, you kind of go through all these
Emotions.
emotions and things and stuff.
Yeah,
But the pictures, so there was I gotta pause for a second.
that's okay.
So a good friend of ours that we considered a brother, me and my sister considered a brother in our family. Um, he passed away. It was suddenly. He was sick, but we didn't expect him passing away.
Hmm.
This was years ago, and he was a prolific writer, editor, and just kind of a change agent in so many different aspects. And so he played an integral role in supporting so many people in receiving their doctoral degrees, and so writing their dissertations, helping them write all the things they needed to get that degree. One being my sister, so editing her um, uh, uh, dissertation and helping her get to where she needed to get to.
Yeah.
And then when she got her degree, it opened up the door for him to be able to um, work with other folks who were trying to pursue that same thing. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's financial stuff that goes into that. Like it's expensive to like get your papers edited and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he started a business around that. He worked with many people, not just in Washington State, but across the country. I'm talking about London, Paris, all across the country, who were working towards their doctoral degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he passed, through my nonprofit, Epic, empowering people in communities, which he encouraged me to actually pursue when I was on the fence about it. Through that organization, we were able to establish a scholarship in his name and in his honor, and it was to support individuals who were pursuing their doctoral degree and their studies. And so the pictures that you were showing were of us actually in California, presenting the first ever Daniel H. Russell Memorial Scholarship to the first recipient of that. Wow. And it was a single mom of two kids who was working hard to pursue her degree and needed that extra push to get across that finish line. Absolutely. And so the funds that we were able to acquire helped her to pay for her studies or her edits to get that done and to get her stuff. And so for us, it was like God had blessed our family, right, to be able to bless someone else. And so, my sister, she's heavy into the education game. She's a professor at Northwest University. She's doing her thing. My sweet spot is nonprofit. I love nonprofit management. I love the nonprofit sector and work. But then I also want to amplify what we're doing in the nonprofit work to support people in our communities, not just getting thousands and thousands of dollars here and there, but getting it right back into the hands of people to support them. So that was a monumental moment, man, for us to be able to travel to California to hand out that first scholarship. And we just in May gave out the second scholarship, and then next May we'll do the third. So each year it grows, and so it started out at $1,500. We're hoping to get it to where we're at least $4,000 we're able to give out every year. But that's in honor of our brother Daniel.
That's amazing, man. That's really, really an awesome thing. Yeah, I think we should definitely just have a moment, just to, think about this amazing individual who unfortunately I didn't get to meet, which I wish I could have, but he sounds like an amazing person. And we're just going to have another moment of silence for him.
Daniel Russell.
Daniel Russell. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you for that story. So let's talk about Epic, because you've done a lot of amazing things. You've done stuff for me. When I a few years back when I wanted to do a backpack giveaway, you came out and supplied us with, what was it, 50 backpacks, 50 backpacks for our backpack giveaway, so that we could, help kids, less fortunate kids in our community. What's next for you guys? I mean, because you stay busy. You stay busy in the community. What is something that you are planning on doing moving into 2024 that you're excited about?
For me, I'm looking forward to 2024, and what we've been working on right now is, so Epic is like kind of a multifaceted organization, right? So it's EPIC, empowering people in communities.
Mhm.
And so that embraces a lot, right? So we focus on education, issues of poverty, food security, homelessness. We try to encompass all those areas and not just it be about us doing the work, but supporting
Mm.
other organizations who are doing the work. Because
Absolutely.
often what we find is like what you were just saying about the backpacks. You say, "Hey, brother, I need some backpacks for these kids in the schools."
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a barrier for you, but for me, it was like, okay, let me call so and so to this, and this, and we got you
Right.
50 backpacks, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to empower you to be able to do what you got to do,
Absolutely.
right? And using our platform to be able to do that. Um, so one arm of what we've been doing in the last uh, few years is that there are a lot of groups and organizations who are supporting within our schools,
Mhm.
supporting families and kids in our schools after school programs that don't have a 501c3, don't have that backing, but they're
Mm.
doing great programming within the education system, and
Yeah.
they need a fiscal sponsor.
Yeah.
So we fiscally sponsored a few organizations over the past few years, and again, I'm not the type of person to name drop and to do like
Right.
give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. But I will also tell you, man, that a lot of things wouldn't be happening in Tacoma if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for the work that I've been doing. And
Yeah.
that's no ego. But I want people to know that when people step out to support you, to put things on the line for you, give them the respect, give them the
Absolutely.
honor that is due with that.
Yeah.
You, at the end of the day, you get the end of what you're going to get. But don't
Absolutely.
forget about the people that open the door for you. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I pay much respect to people like Aaron Sarvis, who started um, the black market. You know, she was doing some amazing things at People's Park,
Yeah.
and then we connected, and she was like, "I want to figure out how I can expand this and do it in a way to where it makes sense." And so we worked together, fiscally sponsored her to do her nonprofit work, and now she's expanding, right? And so
Mhm.
she's always connecting with me and doing her work for for the um for the black markets. And so there's much respect to her for the work that she's doing, man, because that is so important to support black businesses. But what
Yes.
I
Yes.
realized was that if I can't support her, she can't support other people.
Absolutely.
That, you know, and that was a huge thing. And
Yep.
so a big thing for us has been that background voice or entity for folks to get their businesses going, to keep things thriving. So there are two organizations right now. I'm not gonna put their names out there, but they
Absolutely.
are fully operational because of our fiscal sponsorship. And what we're seeing
Mhm.
is that there are barriers in place for organizations of color that
Mm.
keep us from getting grant dollars, access to these funds, all that kind of stuff, because we don't check certain boxes. And
Right.
so we come in as that entity to help them check those boxes, but then say, once we're out of the picture, how do you continue to stand on
Maintain.
your own and to maintain?
Yes.
Because there's thousands of dollars going unused every year, that could be in the hands of Black and BIPOC led organizations. So a big thing for us is to support and empower these organizations to do that. So that's been our thing for the last 2 years. Is really doing
Right.
that. The other piece is, as I said, my parents are retired.
Yeah.
Give me something to do. My dad was like, I'm at home. I want to do something.
Yeah.
So we've been working with a couple other organizations to get food to families
That's
in the
awesome.
Hilltop neighborhood. So this is our community, right? So we grew up in the
Yeah.
Hilltop. So we
Yeah.
want to get food back to folks. And so, you know, I've talked to a couple groups and they're like, man, we're throwing away 16 tons of food a month.
Wow.
And so I talked to my mom and pop. This was about a year ago, and then I started what is now called Hilltop Fed. I took the old coffee shop that was on 11th and MLK,
Mm-hmm.
turned it into a food site. Based on that, my parents helped manage it. When I
Wow.
transitioned from that role, we continued to do the work. My dad was like, I want to be mobile. I want to get boots on the ground. So we still have that same model. So what we do is they take boxes of food to families in need across the Hilltop area.
Wow.
And so we have seniors in our communities who are often missed because they can't get to the sites, right?
Yeah.
And so it was funny because my dad texted me the other day, or about 2 weeks ago, he was like, how these boots look? I was like, why are you texting me about some boots? What are you talking about what the boots look like? I need some work boots.
Yeah.
I said, work boots for what? What are you doing when you need work boots? Well, I'm out here delivering this food and it's getting cold and I have tennis shoes. I said, all right, Pop, get those boots, right? But he's just been proud in the sense of he has opportunity to give back.
Absolutely.
Right? So giving food to families that can't get to places where we would normally have it is important.
Yeah.
So we've been doing that, man, and scholarships for writers, people who are doing their thing, underwriting contracts for people who can't get into. If you're looking for, like, I can't afford my business license, we'll cover your business license, right? We'll cover your health permits. We'll cover those kind of things, and so that's what Epic has been up to. Yeah. One thing that we've been really blessed and fortunate with is the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department has supported us with a grant to really support those businesses, right? So one of the things that I love, growing up, we were in the barbershops a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, y'all was.
We'll go to the barbershop, get a haircut. Sometimes you be in the barbershop and not get a haircut, but
yeah.
It was the conversation.
Yes.
But what I realized is that the shop talk is where a lot of things are happening, right? A lot of things are occurring. But I started seeing things like, man, this barber could use this or this to help them move his platform forward, or this barber is looking to have a space for a community gathering, so let's give them some funds for that. So we've been able to supply funds to different barbershops throughout the Hilltop neighborhood and University Place to support their efforts of engaging our community, right? And so that's a big shout out. Again, that's a big shout out to Tacoma Pierce County Health Department, recognizing that where we gather as Black men is at the barbershop. And there are things that we talk about at the barbershop that we won't talk about in our families, we won't talk about in our homes. So they've given us the money to where we can be able to create space to where they can expand that work, man. So I'm excited about 2024 in the sense of creating this Hilltop Hub. And the Hilltop Hub is essentially it's going to be a space where people can come to get what they need for their family. So, for example, I do a lot of work around affordable housing. Yeah. It's one thing to be housed as a family. That's a beautiful thing. But to walk into a house and you have no couch, you have no pots and pans, no dish soap, no bath towels, that kind of stuff. That doesn't make it a home. And so what we're working with is partners around Pierce County, King County, and beyond to supply goods for these families. Wow. Last October, we ended up providing, I would say, 90% of home goods for 2 different families, and I mean brand new beds, couches, pots and pans, dishes.
That's awesome.
A single dad getting his kids back, and the barrier was he doesn't have a home. He has the home now, but where's his kids going to lay their heads? So we got beds for them and all that. So our goal in 2024 is to really expand and to have people grant access to these spaces of getting what you need to make your home a home. And we have so many partners who have been a part of that. So I can go on and on, man, but that's what we are before. And again, this is all volunteer based. What we do through Epic, every dollar that comes in goes right back out to the community. I don't benefit. I don't get a paycheck. I have volunteers who are retired folks who are doing this. But everything that comes in goes right back out into the hands of our community. And that's what we're about.
That shows that people that live here and are a part of what you do really live here and want to see the Hilltop excel and be better than it's ever been. And so everyone is working together for the betterment of the streets that we know and love.
Yes, sir.
That's a beautiful thing, man. That's so tight.
That's that is important to me. Um, the last week or so, I've been reflecting on many things.
Yeah.
I've talked to my mentors and just kind of just laid some things out of what I've been feeling, and what has come out of it for me
Yeah.
has been, I want to do good while I'm here.
Absolutely.
I want to do good by my family. I want to do good by my community, by my church, by I want to do good while I'm here, and whatever that looks like, I want to do it. But
Absolutely.
also, I encourage other people to do good while they're here, and not to be in this place of me and David are in the same field. So David shouldn't be doing this because he's doing, I'm doing this, and I'm no, because what you're doing, bro, is opening the door for other people to do some things that they've been thinking about doing.
Right.
What I'm doing creates the same space. And so, as I said earlier, a lot of things wouldn't exist if I hadn't done the work. And that's not my ego. That's just saying I took the step to do certain things. And because of that, that opens the door for other folks.
Yeah.
Many people, and some folks would never mention, yeah, Brendan signed that contract for me, and that's why I was able to do this. Or he gave me this recommendation, and that's why I'm able to do it. And that's fine. But always, if you don't say it, show it in some other way of, so because of that, I'm going to do this for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm blessed to be a blessing to other folks. And that's because of the hard work of my parents, the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors and our elders.
Mm-hmm.
But I just encourage us, man, as a people, to really honor each other.
Yeah.
We're not in competition with each other.
Mm-mm.
We're here to collaborate. We're here to celebrate. Like, my achievements mean other folks like me can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take away from anybody else.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to celebrate, man, is all the work that we're doing. Because honestly, David, I can't do what you're doing. I don't have the skill set to put together this whole platform. I can try it. It may work once or twice, but to keep it going and keep it nourished like the way you have done, I don't have that ability. So that's where your skill set comes in. Is then your skill set helps me to support somebody else. So that's where I want us to be, man. I don't know. It could be me in my 40s now, being old, like, we should all work together now. I don't know, but that's just what I feel, man.
But that's the wonderful thing about you, Brand. You've always been the quiet one. Always been the one that wasn't out, running the streets, playing ball, or hanging out with all the girls, and had to be in the in crowd. You always had your mind in the right place for the most part, as long as I've known you, man. Like, and you don't need all those accolades. You don't need people to jump on and be like, yo, if it wasn't for Brand, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? You don't need none of that, because it's like you said, we're only here for a short time. Our job is to do the best that we can with the tools that we have, the tools that God gives us.
Yes, sir.
In hopes that when we are done, we have done exactly what he wanted us to do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're doing. Every single day that you wake up and say, you know what? I need to go to Epic. You know what? I need to create a plan for, such and such and such. You are doing exactly what we are put on this earth to do, is help each other. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, kudos, man. That's why I'm like, yo, I grew up right he was on the other corner of me, 2 houses away from me. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yep. Hey, man, I will tell you this. For the holidays, we always talk about whose food we would eat and so and such we wouldn't touch.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I was talking to Fred over the phone. He's in Vegas.
Yeah.
I said, man, the only other collard greens I would eat. I said, you remember David's mom? He was like, bro.
My mom, she used to throw down.
Said, those are the only collard greens that I would ever touch outside of mom's.
Hey, my mom. We don't even, after a certain age, mom just said She done. She didn't already took
Yeah,
the title. She hung it up. She know what it is. But
yeah,
my mom, yeah, she used to throw down, y'all. Like we say that, we all say that all the time. Like, yeah, my mom was good. Yeah, my mom was good too. No, my mom used to throw down, y'all. She used to
yeah,
when we had food, my mom would cook it up. It would
yeah,
be a gourmet,
yeah.
you know.
And really, and for real, man, that's what for me I feel is what our community is about, right? And this is what I love about the Hilltop. Um, People can say what they want.
Yeah,
They can read a newspaper article like, "Oh, this is what the Hilltop is. This is what it was, whatever." But we lived it, you
absolutely.
know. And you said something, and I'm not sure if people caught it. You said when we had food,
Mm-hmm.
my mom threw down, right?
Yep.
So there were moments where there was no, or it was limited,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
But your mom took what she had and made it the best, right?
Absolutely.
And so I
Absolutely.
remember those the 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 moments of like us running the streets, me and my cousins like riding bikes. I'm not talking about running the streets of like causing harm, but like we just riding bikes, riding around the community of
Yeah.
what we used to do as kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And getting some greens from your mom. We got cornbread from down the street.
Yep.
We got lemonade from somebody, and then we got a swat from somebody else because we rolled through her roses, you know.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing about it is, everybody knew who we were.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I rolled through somebody's bushes with my bike, guess what? By the time I got home, now why'd you roll through Miss Johnson's roses with your bike? You know? But we are missing that now. I think as a community of it's like feeling that connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember we could be in our backyard because our backyard was like adjacent to, I think, like the side of where your house was.
Yeah.
Oh, she's cooking something. What's she
Yep.
cooking over there?
It be coming through.
Just knowing what it was, man. And
Yeah.
that's the piece I miss about community is it's like knowing about each other, man, and
Yeah.
embracing each other. And, you know, we all supported one another. And that's where I feel like I want us to get back to as a community of, you know, how can I support you and what you're doing? You know,
Yeah.
how can I show up for you?
Right. Absolutely.
And there was no egos back then. It was like, hey, baby, my rent is due and I'm $50 short. Can y'all help me out? Rent party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
just those pieces of like, how do we support one another, man? And so again, I just want to give you've given me my flowers from the first time we met on this show. And we knew each other way before then, but the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
show to now. But I'm telling you, man, here are your flowers. Thank you for uplifting so many people, not just Black folks. You've uplifted so many people across the board over the last year. I've been following it. And so here are your flowers for connecting people, for embracing people where they are, for creating this platform of genuineness, man. Like we need this. And so these are your flowers, bro. Like, thank you. And for me, whatever I can do to support, whether it be financial, whether it be showing up to an event, get my hands dirty into whatever, I'm here for that because you've shown that you do the same. So much respect to you, man.
I appreciate that, man. Like, you know, I've done this a long time, and like there's been a lot of moments where I, been wanting to quit and just not feeling like anyone's there to support. No, really, real respect. People. I've sent hundreds of messages to people that used to live a couple blocks away from us. You know what I'm saying? That we ran the streets with, that I've known for years and years and years. To ask them just to be a part of what I'm doing because I see what they're doing. And they're like, yeah, okay, I'll get back with you. And it's weird how, like you said, back in the day, there was no egos. There was no I'm better than you. There was no levels. We were all a part of the Hilltop. We was all somewhat a family. Like you said, Miss Johnson was down the street. She wasn't on the same street as us, but Miss Johnson was right down in the corner. If
Yeah,
we went by there and we was doing something we wasn't supposed to do, when we got home, my mom
yep,
was on me, my
yep,
brother was on me. You know, that's how it was. But
yes,
it's
sir.
it's been really interesting, this journey. But at the same time, like I know I'm here for a reason. I know that God put this platform in front of me, and I've enjoyed every moment of, um, you know, just continuing to create positive relationships and share the stories that people may not know about everyone that I've talked to. I mean, we've known
Yes,
each other
sir.
a long time, so I
Yeah,
know you,
yeah,
but the people that are watching, there's 4 people watching right now. They may have never even heard of Brendan Nelson. Now they do know. Now they know exactly who you are, the things you've gone through, what you're into. You know what I'm saying? What you have done for your community. And that's just little snippets of the things that you have done. You know what I'm saying? You've done so much, but we've only been talking probably what 50 minutes, and we've been kind of venturing all over the place, but man, we've done a lot. Both of us
yeah,
have been through a lot.
yeah.
And I'm just glad that we're here today and still pushing forward. And I'm really excited for both of us to continue doing what we've been doing, and that's raising up our community and doing the best that we can in the places that we are in this world. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
always gonna be here rooting you on,
Yeah,
man.
I
You
appreciate
know
it, bro.
that is a well known fact. So what's your plans for the holiday? You got any plans for the holiday?
Holiday plans, man. We gonna eat good. We gonna eat good around here. That's one thing. I you know I didn't share, but cooking is my therapy, man. And so
I see
I'm
you, man.
I'm
I
the one in
see
the kitchen. I'll be doing stuff in the kitchen. My mom be like, I don't know if I want to eat that, but um, I love to cook, man. I love to be in that space. It's healing for me, and
you.
so for the holidays, actually for um Christmas, what we talked about is just doing a charcuterie board of different things, not your traditional turkey and ham, but like
Yeah, yeah,
let's mix it up a little bit. So definitely spending time with our families, man, and loving on each other.
yeah,
Again,
yeah,
this time last year, bro, my mom was still in the hospital.
yeah.
And so we're celebrating her life, her legacy this year while she's here.
Absolutely.
We don't know what tomorrow can bring. And so um, it's gonna be loving on family, man. It's gonna be just creating good moments.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna be serving my community. So we have,
yeah, yeah.
and I'll link in with you about this because I have a
Okay.
limited number, but I'll have some holiday bins available for families. I think you remember this a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So we'll have a ham and a holiday bin for families that includes like a gingerbread house and some other goods for a good Christmas meal. So we're hoping to get about 20 of those out to community. It's more limited than what we've had in the past, but I want to get them to folks that really need those. And so that's
let's
going to be a big
yeah,
thing.
let's talk.
And doing
Let's
that
talk.
as a family, and then what we're going to start once I get to being better. I'm hoping we can start this next Friday. Is that we will be out in the community during the afternoons, me and my mom and dad, hopefully doing hot soup to folks
Nice.
who are in need because it's going to be cold. It's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be a cold winter, and
absolutely.
so we know folks can't always come to where we are. So we want to provide hot soup and some warming items to folks. So we're going to be loading up and getting out um, to people. So that's my plan for holidays, man. To love on people
Yeah.
and love on my family.
Make sure you get in contact with me, man, once we're done, because I definitely I we did the Thanksgiving feed
Yeah.
last weekend, and I talked to my team afterwards, and our goal is to get out and do soup next sometime this month. So we should connect, link up. and
Good.
team up and get out and get the groundwork done, man, together. Because the need is out there. It's still there.
Yeah.
They may have moved from People's Park to somewhere else, but that don't mean that they don't still need help. There's a lot of them still out there. I mean, right down the street on 72nd in South Tacoma Way, there's a strip of people like right on the strip. I mean, the need
Yeah.
is there. People like if you can support or help, get in contact with me, get in contact with Brendan.
Yeah.
We are definitely going to be out there, serving our community this holiday. Again, if you guys have not heard, I'm doing the Secret Santa again this year. Trying to raise $1,000 to go out and buy presents for these kids out here that are not going to be receiving presents. Last year we raised 1,000. The year before that we raised 750. The year before that we raised 800. We're just trying to continue the trend. So if you guys would like to be a part of that, we're going to be raising up until the 24th. I'm going to go shopping on the 24th. The 25th, I'm going to dress up in an elf suit and I'm going to go deliver the presents. So if you guys would like to help, please hit us up. Let us know how you can either donations or buy the gifts. We have a list of gifts already from families that are already, in my inbox asking me for help. So that's
Man, I'll tell you
absolutely.
this. Count us in. Count Epic in as a sponsor for this.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I can't give a number right now, but definitely want to support this. We want to support
Absolutely.
anybody that's doing work for our community, to get stuff to families, man.
Yes.
And folks who are watching, share this episode with your people,
Yes.
because this is not just. I mean, we are friends talking. This is why I look at it. Me and you are friends talking, right?
Absolutely.
At the
Absolutely.
same time, there are people in need. There are
Yes.
people in need in our communities.
Mhm.
And one thing I learned from somebody I've been working with the last couple of weeks, she said, if you're gonna do soup, if you're gonna do any warming items, you got to do it at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I'm not getting up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not doing that. She said the reason is because once the sunlight hits,
There you go.
people feel like they are targets now.
Mhm.
And so they have to disperse and go all these different places. That's why you
Yep.
can't keep people during the day.
Absolutely.
In the mornings, you can get stuff to them. So I'm going to take advantage of my retired friends who are used to getting up at that hour. Hey, can
Yeah.
y'all take soup here? Can y'all take soup there?
Right.
So this is a great need.
Mhm.
We are still struggling in Tacoma with people experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
People having access to fresh warming items, things like that. We are still struggling with that. And this winter, we're expected to have some really some tough
Below.
nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do
Freezing.
our part. And it's not even if it's like I can't give money, if you can go buy some gloves, some Dollar Tree,
Yeah. They're available. $1.25.
go buy a few gloves, take them out to people. We do what's called blessing bags. We stuff them with all kind of stuff that is we feel would be helpful. And I go to Target, I see people at the little stop. Here's your
Mhm.
stuff. I go Fred Meyer, here's something. But there's always a need, man. And I just say do what you can with what you have. And like I said to you earlier, I want to do good while I'm here. And I
Yes.
encourage everybody else, do good while you're here. To wherever that means for you. It doesn't mean I'm giving $500. It could be, you know what? I had $1 and I gave it. That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
$1 from you, $1 from him, $5 from him, $4 from him. That's going
Sure.
to help somebody. And we all work together to take care of those that have $0.
Yeah.
Or,
But man, I got to refresh my Golden Girls cup and go get me some
Absolutely.
soup because
Absolutely. Well, hey man,
I
again,
appreciate you, man. I appreciate
yeah,
you.
I got you. I appreciate you, man. We're gonna get together. We'll talk. I'm gonna
Yes,
send
sir.
you my because I think you. I don't know if I sent you my number last time, but I'll send it to you this time. As soon as you get it, just send me yours back, and
Yep.
let's make it happen, man. I'll get you all the information about what I'm doing. You give me the information. Let's link up You know, I
Okay.
want to see the family. I want to hang out with the family. I want to taste some of your food.
Man,
I don't
You got
know.
some-
I don't know,
you got
man.
you have some of my food, bro. You're gonna be like, hey man, can I move in?
Can I move in?
My food. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, you know, I'm with it. You know, I stay solo dolo. I'm here by myself. I got my kids on the weekends, but I'm the one that's cooking it. Y'all know.
Hey man, if you ain't got nothing for Christmas, come through for Christmas, bro.
Absolutely, I'll be there. I'm
Come through for
coming.
Christmas.
All right,
Shout
guys,
out-
we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for watching Circle Talk today. Thank you again, Brand. I appreciate you. I love you, man.
Thank you, man.
We'll stay in contact.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, I'll be with Devin Angele down in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to talk about her new single, Sync Up, and her musical background, the whole nine. So tune in tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're coming back for day 2 of the 23 Days Till Christmas Marathon. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.
Through thick and thin, the ups and downs, you always been around. Is it gonna end like